Alright, welcome everyone to Financial Futures. In today's video, I'm going to discuss a $1,400 stimulus check potentially available for between 50 million and 100 million low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries. This includes Social Security retirement, disability, SSDI survivors, spousal SSI, VA, RB, low-income, no-income seniors, older adults, and of course, people with disabilities. How much will it impact you? That's the focus of today's video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. Now, obviously, this is a very hot-button issue and a very popular question that I get literally every single day down below in the comments section. But I want to focus on those 50 million to 100 million people who are all low-income or fixed-income beneficiaries right now in regards to a $1,400 stimulus check. By the way, can I ask a quick question? If you were to get a one-off $1,400 check right now, deposited into your bank account or onto your Direct Express card, how would you use that money? I'm just really curious. Please share your thoughts down below in the comments section. Everyone's situation is different, and I'd love to know what your needs are right now. If you don't want to answer, that's totally fine. But if you do, I'd love to read those comments and see if there's a common theme. Let me take you back a couple of years when we got stimulus checks. Guess how many people those checks went out to? 85% of the population, which at the time was about 282 million people. That's nuts, right? Considering a population of about 333 million people at the time, 85% got those payments. That's massive. But let's be honest, it was totally unnecessary. We do not need stimulus checks going out to 85% of the population. Most people don't need it, though they'll gladly take it. So let's talk through the details. But before we go further, can I ask a huge favor? If you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button right down below. It's totally free. I'm here for you every single day, watching the headlines, doing the research, advocating on your behalf, and doing anything I can to help you navigate these tough times. Your support means the world to me, and together, we can get through this. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. We've got to stick together right now. It's rough out there, and I'll do whatever I can to help. So let's talk through the details. Remember, a couple of years ago, those stimulus checks went out to 282 million people, costing $850 billion. That's a lot of money. But now, if they were to send out a one-off $1,400 check to just 50 million people, it would only cost $70 billion. And if it were sent to 100 million people, it would be $140 billion. Compared to the trillions spent before, that's nothing. Here's the interesting part. Studies show that sending money to the lowest income people stimulates the economy much more effectively than sending it to everyone. Why? Because low-income people spend the money quickly on necessities, which boosts the economy. In contrast, higher-income people are more likely to save it. So, going forward, if another stimulus check were to be approved, targeting it to a smaller, specified group of low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries would be far more efficient. They could do a one-off check or even ongoing monthly checks for a short period, and it would still cost a fraction of what was spent previously. Remember, no stimulus check has been approved right now. But if it happens, we need to watch closely. And here's the thing, whether it's in a year, 5 years, or 10 years, we will likely see stimulus checks again. It's their go-to move during economic downturns. So, let's stay informed and prepared. Long story short, efficient and targeted stimulus checks would not only help those who need it most but also stimulate the economy effectively. Sending out $1,400 checks to 100 million people 3 times would still cost less than what was spent before. It's all about being smart and efficient with resources. Next, we're diving into the latest data from the housing market. June's numbers are out, and guess what? home prices have hit another record high. Now, before we jump into the data, I just want to say I don't consider this a housing market crash. But that's just my take. Let's break it down together and see what's really going on. Alright, so you're looking at a 5-year chart of the median sale price in the U.S. Month over month, home prices have increased by $289. Year over year, we're looking at a 4% increase. So, does this look like a housing market crash to you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now, I already know what some of you are going to say. First, there's the camp that believes a housing market crash is right around the corner. I've been hearing this for the past 3 years, and if you're one of those folks, you've probably been watching too many Graham the Scam Stephan videos. But seriously, let's get ahead of the comments here. Another common point is about Texas and Florida. People are saying inventory is surging, but prices aren't dropping significantly enough to call it a crash. And my response? Let's compare today's prices to 2020, pre-pandemic. Spoiler alert, they're still higher. So, not really a crash in my book. And let's talk about listing prices versus sale prices. I could list my home for $500 million and then cut it to $1 million. Does that mean there's a crash? No, we care about what homes are actually selling for, not just the list price. A lot of people are using listing price drops to push a narrative, but let's be real here. If the sale prices aren't dropping significantly, it's not a crash. So, let's move on to inventory. Right now, there are 1.77 million homes for sale. Yes, that's up from 1.56 million last year, a 13.3% improvement. But when you compare it to pre-pandemic levels of 2.38 million, inventory is still down 25%. This low inventory is one of the reasons why prices remain high. Now, onto mortgage rates. If you've been following my Federal Reserve updates, you know that rates have been pretty stable. We're looking at a 30-year fixed mortgage rate hovering between 6% and 8%. As of now, we're at about 6.8%. The Federal Reserve's next meeting is on July 31 ST, and while they might cut rates in September, it's likely to be just a quarter-point cut. So, we might see mortgage rates dip a bit, but don't expect a dramatic drop. Here's another interesting stat. 35.1% of homes are selling above list price. This has flattened out recently, which is good news for buyers. We're not in the craziness of 2021 or 2022, but it's still a competitive market out there. Now, let's talk migration. The top cities where people are leaving are Los Angeles, New York City, San Francisco, Seattle, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Boston. Meanwhile, migration to Florida is cooling, and Texas has stabilized. As for home price predictions, don't expect big swings in either direction for the rest of the year. Inventory levels are expected to improve slightly, and mortgage rates will likely stay in the 6% range. So, for those waiting for a big drop, it seems improbable for 2024. Now, the big question: when will homes be affordable again? The Home Affordability Index is as bad as it's ever been. To see real affordability, we need a combination of lower home prices, higher wages, and lower interest rates. But realistically, this alignment isn't likely in 2024 or early 2025. So, that's your realistic and honest housing market update. I'll keep you updated on any changes. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Take care.